trying to say that he was picking through the grain on Sabbath.
How about Father? I know you got a family, or you had a family, and Clubhouse has become your full-time job, but I would just like to read something from the Quran.
Go. I mean, we're in the middle of something, but you know what? Can I go for
No,
it?
go ahead. Finish up.
All the time.
Finish up. And then I got to get my Quran off my bookshelf.
All right, no problem. So it's the same thing it's going to talk about in Mark, so on and so forth, right? So they're trying to put his disciples to death. But his response is 1 Samuel 21, 1-6. And this is an interesting one. I'm not so sure if you're going to get this one, but we'll try. We'll try.
Alrighty. 1 Samuel 1. There was a certain man named Ramathane, a Zuphite, from the hill.
Chapter 21. This is it. 1 Samuel. You see it?
Yes.
Chapter 21, 1-6.
Got it. David went to Nob. Yes. The Ahimelech.
Yes.
Ahimelech. Ahimelech. Melech means king in Hebrew. David went to Nob to Ahimelech, the priest, and Ahimelech trembled when he met him and asked, "Why are you alone? Why is no one with you?" David answered Ahimelech the priest, "The king sent me on a mission and said to me, 'No one is to know about this mission I am sending you. As for men, I have told them to meet me at a certain place. Now then, what do you have on hand? Give me 5 loaves of bread and something from fire." But the priest answered, "I did not have any ordinary bread on hand. However, there is some consecrated bread here, provided the men have kept themselves from women." David replied, "Indeed, women have been kept from us as usual whenever I set out. The men's bodies are holy, even on missions that are not holy. How much more so today?" So the priest gave them consecrated bread, since there was no bread there except the bread of the presence. Oh, the bread of the presence that had been removed from before the Lord and replaced by hot bread on day it was taken away. Wow.
I don't know if you're gonna get that one off the first time around. Yeah, not as easy as the other ones.
No, but I'm interested. I'm processing, bro. Let me get.
Yeah, you gotta process. Wow. This one is deep one. A lot of people bring this one up, but they don't understand it. But anyway, we're gonna switch here. We're gonna go to Mr. Quran, Glorious Quran.
I'll be right back.
I don't know. Yeah, Quran Glorious, whatever his name is.
Yeah, I've been reading the Quran just here on Clubhouse because I've never read it, and I don't know, man. To me, it's not like, it doesn't seem that intelligent. It seems almost like some fucking, people in the desert wrote it. Okay, this is Surah 9 at Tauba, page 190, verse 21. It says, "The Lord gives them glad tidings of a mercy from him, and his pleasure, and of gardens where for them there is everlasting bliss, dwelling there forever. Indeed, with God is a great reward. O you who believe, do not take your fathers and brethren for friends if they love disbelief over belief. Whoever of you takes them for friends, surely those are the evildoers. Say, if your fathers, your sons, your brethren, your spouses, your near of kin, and wealth you have gained in trade which you fear may decline, and homes that please you are more beloved to you than God and his messenger, and striving in his cause, then wait until God passes judgment upon you, and God does not guide the wicked. Indeed, God has made you victorious on many fields, and on the day of Hunayn, when you were pleased by your great numbers, but it availed you none, and the land for all its vastness was narrow for you, and you turned away retreating. Then God sent down his serenity upon his messenger and the believers, and sent down forces which you did not see. And he chastised the unbelievers, and that is the recompense of the unbelievers. Then God relents to whom he pleases thereafter, and God is all forgiving, all merciful. O you who believe, the unbelievers are indeed impure, so let them not come near the sacred mosque after this year. And if you fear poverty, then God will enrich you from his bounty if he pleases, for God is all-knowing, all-wise. Fight those who do not believe in God in the last day, who do not forbid what God and his messenger have forbidden, and do not adopt the true religion, Islam, from among the people of earlier scripture, until they pay the jizya tax with willing submission and feel themselves subdued. And the Jews said, Uzair is the son of God, and the Christians say, the Messiah is the son of God. Such are the unfounded things they utter with their mouths, following in the footsteps of the unbelievers before them. God strike them dead. How they are perverted! They have taken the Messiah, son of Mary, and their rabbis and their priests as lords other than God. But they were commanded to worship only one God. There is no God but he. Glory be to him. He is above and free from all that they associate with him. Okay, I'll just read 2 pages. Anyways, are you guys paying your jizz yet?
I had to stop doing the jizz because I was producing too many kids. I mean, I was like, she tied them up. No more jizya for me.
What about when you were in the hole in solitary confinement?
I jerked off a few times, but I'm just saying, like, it didn't have the same effect. So it was only for 6 weeks. But let me tell you, man,
About that.
it was like weird. It was weird because when I was going through it, you're just in this huge like daze, right? And then when they let you out, it's like you forget.
Of money, every investor.
There's something about it that makes you just forget. It's almost like they just put you in, and it's like this weird thing where you just don't understand time. To me, it's one of the worst things you could ever do to a human. Is put them in some sort of solitary confinement.
I don't know. It's kind of a double-edged sword because, like, if you're forced into confinement and you experiment with it, it's going to be horrible at certain times, but there might be also like ecstatic bliss in the void. Like if you accept the fact that, you can't move, you can't, it's like, I don't know, it's like submission or something, but I'm saying you can play with it in solitary, it's not going to be pleasurable 90% of the time, but like there might be a 10% ecstasy if you can, do breathing exercises, meditation, whatever. I'm sure some people who get put in solitary confinement, I'm sure nobody likes it, but I'm sure there are moments where people, come to some like revelations or something.
Yeah, like planks. Planks help me. Push-ups. Just stuff that hurt. Stuff that really hurt. The planks were great. So if you hold that plank for a long time, you could really reach some sort of. But that's what I'm saying. Like that's what I felt. It could be different for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Who the fuck knows?
Yeah, boy, man, I heard that. Because anytime I'm in a room and the person comes on stage, I don't even want to talk to him. I don't even want to hear him.
So, Barthologist,
I hear you.
Barthologist, how do you feel about, or what do you think about like Islam and Christianity and Judaism? Like that verse I just read, the Jews believe in something, whatever that word was, and then the Christians believe in the Messiah, and the Muslims believe in the one true God. Like, how do you rationalize Muslims and this book? Because to me, it seems like it's a knockoff or an extenuation of the of the book and the information, and they're using it, for their own organization. I mean, they talked about the masses and God gave them victory. So it's like they're a military camp creating their own theology. How do you view, is it a fraud, or is it, legitimate, is as legitimate as all the other religions?
It's hard to say. I guess you can't compare each one, right? I guess if they were put together, right, all of them, there'd be the war book, there'd be the suffering book, and there'd be the book of law. That's the only way I can look at it, right? As a cohesive sort of thing, right? If I was the one raging war on somebody, which side would you want to be on? Doctrine.
You'd want to be on the side that wins at the end of it, but you can tell that this book is geographically specific. All these books are geographically specific. Even, well, I don't know. Anyways, I'm just saying, I've been reading it and I haven't been blown away. There's like a couple verses that are enlightening, but most of it is like a repetition. It's like just keeps repeating itself. It's like
very trancy. Exactly. It's taking you for a whirlwind, and then it switches, and then it changes all of a sudden. And then you're reading about something, and then boom, the story changes again. And I think it's touching a specific crowd of people.
The fact that it's written, in that Arabic, it's like plates, almost, and
it does sound like golden plates. Yeah, golden plates above. Yeah, it does have that. But look how successful they are.
Yeah.
They're the ones who taught America how to be America. If you think about it, what they were doing in the West was like revolutionary. Forget about what was true or false. What they were doing with the doctrine was amazing. More than they were doing in Times Square in New York. So.
Yeah, but you're talking about the Mormons, right?
Yeah.
But do you know they had their whole thing going on. They had it perfect. Well, the U.S. came and fucked it all up. Yeah, well, they went to war with the government, and like a real war in Southern Illinois. They burned down the printing presses. They took over the judicial, and the governor of Illinois or Missouri, like, literally sent the military in to fight them, and then they fled to Salt Lake City. But they were literally, declaring independence from America.
Yeah, they did what no one else did or doing. So I give them that. And it was on a so-called, because I know that they know the truth about it today, right? But they still believe in the doctrine. You could still, that's what I'm saying, like they could still be something good out of it that comes out of it. But it's got to involve Jesus. They can't just involve a nomad sort of rebel. You don't got Jesus in the story, then you're out to lunch.
Have you been to Salt Lake City to see their massive city, basically?
I flew over it when I went to Vegas. Did I go to it? No. I don't even know if that was Salt Lake City. I think those are just the Redlands, right? Maybe it wasn't Salt Lake. Who the fuck knows?
Utah is extremely conservative. Like, it's one of the only states that hasn't, passed medical marijuana. They take things very seriously. And, you'll be amazed that when you get pulled over, you're getting pulled over by a Mormon.
Hey, how you guys doing? I had a question. So, you guys believe in the Bible?
Yeah, I think it's a very good book to read. And people who criticize it on this app and think it's superstition and lies and responsible for all the death and the murder, and wars and everything, I think that those people are just really immature and uneducated, and they don't see the good news in the Bible, because there's just so much good positive information in it. It's overwhelming. I mean, it's unbelievable the richness of just the psychological
Stop,
richness.
you're trolling, right?
No,
Are you? Oh, why is your name Quran?
because I'm trying to like get ahead of the curve, because if mass immigration, continues, we'll have to essentially, as Americans, form our own branch of Islam in
Yeah, you're a
order
troll.
to.
Okay.
No,
gotcha.
I'm not a troll.
Continue.
I'm
Okay.
telling you that like we have to own Islam. We can't let these Islamists own Islam. We have to circumvent them. Otherwise, we will suffer, forever terrorism like other countries that endure Islamists on their borders.
Wait, hold on. Are you the Jewish guy who was trolling all the Jews before? What was your name? Chicago Cheeseburger?
That's right.
Oh, yeah, this guy's a troll.
Total troll.
Yeah, but he's actually intelligent. Like, don't get me wrong. He's a very intelligent troll, but he is definitely a troll.
I thought so.
Well, you think trolling is negative. I'm just saying on the internet, like trolling is a way to try to get other people.
It's a form of communication. It's a unique form of
It's
communication.
like a philosophy. It's meaning that like if you play the contrarian, you can always squeak something else out of the situation.
Hey, words are hypnosis, right?
All communication is hypnosis.
All communication is hypnosis.
You guys are too funny.
I just wanted to know. I just wanted to know. 'Cause I think that
Poor guy.
people should they should actually if they believe in the text, then they should just believe in it, because I think the text tells you to have faith and belief and stuff like that, whether you do it with the Quran or any Abrahamic tradition, which are all just traditions of death. They're like murder death cults. That's what they really are. That's what history has shown us them to be. But I think that people should just read them and believe in them and stop trying to bring them to like a historical arena. That's my only pushback on people like on the Christian and Islamic basis, because the book is clearly telling you to have faith in it. You can't back the book up with empirical research. You can't back the
I mean, it really doesn't say to have faith in the book. The book.
well, have faith in the stories that's in the book.
Well, just faith in God.
Yeah, faith in God or whatever the case might be. Which
I mean, the Quran points to itself. You're correct, but the Bible always points to God. It's about knowing God.
Right, and I think that people should just stick with that. That'll make things more easier. Other than trying to see, like to me, that would stop the war over there in the so-called Middle East, because there's no such thing as the Middle East. That's just ridiculous. I mean, I don't know what's wrong with people. It's impossible for it to be a Middle East. Where's the Middle West at? The Middle North, the Middle South. So that's nonsense. But whatchamacallit, I think that people should just stick to that, because it'll stop the fighting. I mean, stick to you having faith and you believe in your God, what your God tells you to do. So when you try to say that, I'm a Jew, or I'm Israel, where you have nobody's body or mummy or remains to test your blood type, for us to say that that's true. So it's just nonsense. And I'm related to Muhammad, wherever people relate, you don't have Muhammad's body to test your blood type, your DNA, to see if that's what the case is. So they're just fighting over something that's is not verifiable evidence. It's just ridiculous, man. People are dying, especially women and children. Innocent children are dying that never even had a chance. I mean, I see kids over in that country, they got their little Islamic costumes on and stuff like that. I'm like, man, this kid never even have a chance to decide whether he want to be that or not. So it's just a tragedy, man. It's just, I think when we start talking about inhumane acts, I think inhumane, like just in general, like when it deals with just death and things that go right against humanity, we should all turn our eyes towards all Abrahamic traditions to try to eradicate the planet that they have caused so much war and destruction. But I yield.
It won't stop war, though. There's always going to be war. There's always going to be a reason to fight in men's eyes. You know that, right?
Of course, yes, man.
Yeah, and they use those books to wage war. Those books aren't talking.
I agree. Sometimes they do.
Yeah, those books aren't telling you to, go wage war and do all that,
Well, but Islam books do actually.
Oh yeah, Islam. Oh yeah, Islam.
Yeah,
Sure.
Christianity doesn't. Christianity really is a religion of peace. We're really told to pray for our enemies, which is, if you've ever tried to do that, that's hard to do. It's really, I've tried it.
You go against like your own nature.
Yes, and that's why I love Christianity, because it really brings out the sinful nature in us. It's like, oh, I want revenge. I want to see this person burn. But God's like, no, Christina, you pray for them. I was like, yeah, I'm not there yet, God. I can't do it. But yeah, it makes me become better and stronger for sure. But we're supposed to like turn the cheek. We're supposed to,
Yo, it tells you that we're here to serve, right? And when you look at everybody around us in this world, everybody's caught up in themselves, me. But that book tells you, like, yo, you are here to serve. You are here for others, right? Like, you're not here for yourself. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard.
It's more than that. I mean, you have to admit that the Bible is a tool to develop a young man or woman with intelligence. It's a personal development, self-help book. It deals with psychology. It deals with making you into a king or a queen. I mean, it really does. It's like a dandy book.
I mean, I kind of agree, yeah. I don't think I'd word quite like that, for sure. Yeah.
I mean, I have these 3x5 cards with Bible passages on them, you know, from Samuel, from Proverbs, from Psalms. And if you just read that out loud, you're programming yourself on very powerful wisdom and psychology. And, you know, if you don't do that, like if you're suffering or you want to have fun, try it. Like go on eBay or whatever, Amazon, and buy little 3x5 Bible passage cards and just read it that way, because you'll get the source material very quickly put into your consciousness or your subconsciousness.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I never thought of that.
Yeah, it's like if you want the Holy Spirit, put into your, soul or into your body, and you can do it very quickly if you, chop it up.
Karan, cheeseburger, whatever your name is. I thought, aren't you atheist?
No, not at all.
What are you?
I'm a man, and I believe in God. I believe that Jesus Christ is Lord and King, Savior of mankind.
Oh, okay. I thought you were atheist. Sorry.
No, he's not an atheist. He's a combination. He's got a trifecta going on. He is a Hindu, Buddhist, Jew.
Make that make sense.
Wait, isn't that what Jesus was?
Judaism.
Some people say Jesus was that.
He didn't.
The Tibetans have scripts that say Jesus was.
Channel where you're playing like Crowley all day.
Yeah, I do study Aleister Crowley and Thelema, or his, occult sciences, which really, in many ways, it is still Christian focused, because they do reference and believe that Jesus Christ fulfilled, I guess, I don't know. Christ is so special because, like, he went out with a bang, and he's just so special. There's nobody quite like Jesus.
The Crowley was a good gentleman. I mean, I know people probably think different, and they think he was this evil man. He was actually. I've heard some people mention he was even a great magician. I'm into magic and stuff like that. Aleister Crowley was very, very interesting man.
Yeah, it's not stage magic. It's basically natural sciences where I think it could be like schizophrenic, where you think that what you're doing is actually impacting something, but what you're really doing is just changing your attitude or beliefs. Like you said, you can use the Bible to forgive your enemies. That would be like an example of magic, where you're psychologically readjusting by doing some type of a ritual or performance to make yourself feel better about the situation, or to try to take action. The whole thing is action or doing. The expression is do what thou wilt. It's not, essentially what it's trying to say is we are not our words, we are what we do. Our actions are what truly matter.
Agree.
How you feel about all that butt play stuff he was into?
Yeah, I don't agree with butt play stuff.
But that was like a lot of the rituals that he was into and stuff, right?
From what I've read, not necessarily. And there's other occultists like Israel Regardie. He was his secretary, and then he ended up living in California. This is the occult, and it's a cult. The word occult and cult. Like Americans are tied up into this magic or this thelema of Aleister Crowley, and there's covens, and it's like witchcraft. It is witchcraft. And there are women that do witchcraft, and they're organized, and they think what they do, is real. Now, whether it's real or not, they are affecting their psychologies and their consciousness by doing these rituals and taking action. So, you could say that Christ was a magician and that he was a Kabbalist. That's the way I kind of view Christ, that he was very spiritual, and that if you read Kabbalah, even when he says, I didn't come to bring peace, I came to bring a sword. The sword is an instrument of a magician. So there's just so many references to magic within the New Testament. And I get the feeling that they were, experimenting with, magical sciences at the time of Christ.
Definitely Kabbalah, without a doubt.
The Kabbalah deals with Ein Sof, which is the limitless light. And, a lot of people who say that, the light is like Lucifer or Satan, like the Freemasons, that I don't know how definitive it is, in Freemasonic literature, if they believe that God is viewed as Lucifer, and then there's a God that supersedes Lucifer, because if Lucifer is the prince or the potentate on earth, there is a superseding powerful God above that. And Satan is a component or a creation of that all-powerful God. So Christ, as the Redeemer and Savior, he pulled off the greatest miracle of mankind. Like, he is the greatest because he rectified the universe, meaning that he brought salvation to all the souls that have ever lived and all the souls that ever will live by essentially sacrificing himself. But again, I think there's a little more to the Jesus story than just the crucifixion and the redemption. I think there's like a motif, a modality, or an example set that all men and women should try to live their lives in a Christ-like manner. So again, from a personal development and a self-help perspective, the tale of Christ can really help redeem you in your life. If you're looking for love, if you're looking for material success, health, psychology, and wisdom, like, Christ can give you all four of those things in your life.
So the last time Hanukkah landed after Christmas was only about a handful of times. So the time before this, 2005. And then I think the time before that, was it 1941? Hold on, I looked this up the other day. I have this over here. So because of the Gregorian calendar.
Is it because of leap year?
It's because of the Gregorian calendar. They don't have, the Gregorian calendar doesn't have a leap year. So it gets screwed up. They don't follow the moon cycles. So over here, what does it say here? Over here, it's Hanukkah date summary. Here we go. So the first time, 2004. So Hanukkah will be starts on the 25th, right? Since the 1900s, Hanukkah has began on the 25th only a few times, including 1910, 1929, 1959, and 2005. Again, 2024, and then the next time will be 2035. So you remember when Caesar went over to, and he stayed in Egypt for a little bit? They started to learn actually about the stars and time and how to keep a date because the Jews had it all screwed up. So when he came back, he's like, we got this all wrong.
Yeah, Caesar, that's the thing about Christianity, Judaism, Islamism, or whatever. I mean, you cannot disregard Roman history and the Roman religion because that was the leading political power, the leading religious power, and it didn't just go away. It's still here with us now. I mean, Christmas, Saturnalia, and so like, just depends on how conservative you want to be.
Christmas is not pagan.
What?
Stop with this bullshit, man.
And even with Dionysus, it's still connected with Dionysus also. So I mean, it's like they can't deny those things.
Yeah, Osiris, Isis, even the Egyptian gods. The motif of the resurrection is a common motif. So, plus, I'm just saying
the
that.
Mithras,
The Mithratic,
also.
the Mithratic cults.
Yeah.
It's all, even
Exactly.
Easter, Ishtarte, Babylon, all this ancient mystery religion. It's present day with us, but we've just, now we're just labeling it with our English words. But the Feast of Saturn or Christmas Day, the Mass of Christ, is a Roman reformation of their original pagan celebration.
Now you shouldn't say Roman because that kind of covers a lot of ground there. You have to say Italian because in Rome. No, I'm serious.
No, but
I'm not sure if it was Italy back then, but Italy has all these deep-rooted sort of traditions.
Yeah,
And
but
it's just,
the government, the Roman government would have proclaimed the celebration to all of its cities, to all of its provinces.
Exactly, but it stemmed from Italy. I mean, you should. I'm serious about this. If you watch a few videos on this, you'll realize all of these.
Comes out of Italy.
All of these things. Yeah.
Christmas has nothing to do with that Saturnalia bullshit, though.
Really? Do you want me to get the link for you so you can read about it?
No, I've already done my research on it. I used to be a Jehovah's Witness, so yeah, I was literally taught that it's pagan and bad. So when I left that cult, I actually researched this topic, almost like OCD-ish. Literally started where we are today with our Christmas traditions, and I went backwards in time to Saturnalia era, trying to find the paper trail of where our traditions came from today. Saturnalia, if you actually look into how they celebrated it, and the point of it has nothing to do with Christmas or any of the traditions today. You can't say feasting and gift giving because even in Saturnalia, the gift giving was more like pranks, like gag gifts. And we also have feasting and gift giving in the Bible. So God isn't against feasting and gift giving. Purim is literally like gift giving and feeding the poor and feasting. So that's the only thing we really have in common with Saturnalia. And any month or date chosen for Jesus's birthday would have been in alignment with a pagan holiday. They had pagan holidays 24/7 back then, all year long. So you can't, so even if a different date was chosen, it would have aligned with a different pagan holiday. But December 25th was associated with Christ since like the 2nd century, I think. It was from, I can't say his name, Hippolytus. I can't say that dude's name. He actually did a sermon, I think in, I don't know, 2nd or 3rd, I can't remember, talking about December 25th.
But no one's saying pagan here. We're trying to explain.
Yeah, he was. Quran was. He said it.
Yeah, but it's not necessarily. We're not saying that it's deep rooted in a pagan belief. We're obviously not pagan.
He literally just said that part.
We changed the tradition. We changed it. So God only knows how long it was going on before it was pagan.
There's only
significance. It has a significance in keeping that date for a specific reason beyond our understanding.
the dates do align. Saturnalia and Christmas, December 17th to the 24th. They're just very close. I'm just saying that there's only the present moment, which is now, and we're using our American English to essentially describe a historical continuum from, let's say, the year zero up until now. I mean, the activities on the calendar have changed, but in many ways they're very similar. Like you just said, it has similar activities like gift giving. I put some links in the chat. To me, it's just an interesting historical analysis.
Do you feel like Saturnalia is the one that started gift giving to loved ones?
I'll be right back. I got to take a break for a second. Be right back.
Okay.
When you start, this is the thing, like, I don't know how to explain this, but when you start really looking into this stuff, you don't look at it as if like, oh, somebody's being debunked or being told they're wrong, because there's a similarity. I see that as more of a reason to keep the tradition going. So I doubt we're going to come up with any more new dates. Like you were saying before, it's just going to always land where there's going to be one of them that's going to land on another date for whatever reason. But the moon cycles, the sun cycles, the summer solstice, the winter solstice, or whatever equinox, whatever they call it. These cycles have been going on for God knows how long. So, those are the things that, the sun not rising for 3 days. Like, all these things are like, there's a deeper meaning to all these things than what we realize. That's all I was trying to say. I wasn't trying to add it to a pagan sort of holiday, because I think all the pagans own every fucking holiday, because they've been pagans way longer than we have. That doesn't mean that we're pagan. Do you get what that means? Do you get what I'm saying? Like you said before, it's always going to land on.
I do, kind of, yeah. I think Easter is harder to defend, like with the Easter bunny and eggs and stuff like that, egg hunts. I think that one is harder to defend. What does that have to do with, I don't know. But Christmas, since I've done the research, I'm very confident that we're good. We're golden. We're safe.
The Easter bunny has to do with fertility.
Right. And that has to do with the fertility goddess, right? I don't know. And what does fertility have to do with Jesus's, resurrecting? Like, that's just weird. Why are we combining that? It's just like I could say, why are we combining Santa Claus in with the birth of Jesus? So I think there's a lot of secular stuff going on in our holy days, which is starting to bug me now that I'm older. But it's easy for me to be nitpicky because I don't have young kids anymore. If I had young kids, it's really hard to say, no, you can't do Halloween or Easter egg hunts or, I don't know. I'm glad I don't have to decide that anymore now that I'm a Christian. Because I don't think I'd be okay with it. But again, this whole pagan thing, I think we're giving way too much credit to pagans. Doesn't the Bible say that everything on earth is for us to use? So, like, if we use evergreens or trees or garlands or, garland from, like, the, outside, I don't understand why that automatically, okay, well, they did this at Saturnalia and now you're doing it at Christmas, so therefore you're pagan. I mean, during the winter, there's only so much stuff that's still alive and green, too. So, of course, you're going to be using this stuff. I don't know, that's just my 2 cents.
Yeah, we should do a deep dive one day into Italy and see how much had it over Roman culture. Or even
What?
Greek culture. Sort of the Italy itself.
Okay, well, Saturnalia, dude, they used to go and like bow down to this, what is it, Saturn? Whatever the god, I can't remember. I have it all written in my paper, but they would untie him and like basically it was like a big orgy during Saturnalia. People would do role reversal. I mean, it's something like Christmas. There was lawlessness. It was a time to like just be wild. That's why I always say go research Saturnalia and what they did, the customs and how they celebrated this holiday, and tell me how do we do this in Christmas? Like, it's very different.
So each day of the week represented the 7 planets at one point that we thought was the case. The nail's working out? Yeah. Now, so you brought up 4 pieces. Yeah, so those are the 12. Yeah. Each day of the week was named after this guy has a good one. Tyson. DeGrasse Tyson has a good one on this. The days of the week. It's actually pretty interesting if you look at it. I mean, you're going to stop calling Monday because it's pagan? Hysterical. Where did Christina go? She left? Oh, well. Oh, well. Listen you. What a shitty fucking week. 11, please. Was that from downstairs? The meeting? Is it really? Look at that. Well, this is the end. You know, fucking Christians asking you, are we going to be able to sin in heaven? Like, how the fuck am I supposed to know? Oh, that's not a good answer. Are you fucking kidding me? Not a good answer. What kind of fucking answer you want? Supposed to sin in heaven. Why did I fucking lie? Yo, I put him up there right outside the elevator. Is that what you want to come and do? Of course. I got a chair here for you. I got a chair for you. Stay here, come and sit with me. You're more than welcome to come and sit with me. He's trying to say I sit down all day. The fuck? The fucking balls on these people. Fucking balls on this guy. I'm sitting down. I'm gonna go sit down now. Fuck him. He blames me for sitting down, I go sit down. Oh, what are you doing? I'm sitting down. What do you mean you're sitting down? What do you mean you sit? What do you mean? What do you mean you're sitting down? You don't get paid to sit down? Oh, really? Who told you that? Who told you I don't get paid to sit down? Well, maybe they didn't tell you. Yeah, that's it. What's going on? Is there another room I don't know about? Somebody's online. I don't know what's going on. Oh, what are you making? What do you mean you're sitting down? Stop sitting down. What are you sitting down for? What's up, Gatto? What do you mean sitting down? What's up, bud? Thought I ended my day pretty soon. This guy fucking left at 11 o'clock. What up, Bart? What's up? I'm saying this guy leaves at 11 o'clock. I thought I left early. This guy fucking left earlier than me. So what's up, Gatto? Chillin'. Relaxing, nothing really. What'd you get for Christmas? Nothing. Another day. Lying ass. Your mother probably got you something. You say your family's still Christian, bro. Come on, you celebrate Christmas? You ain't got a lot to me, bro. But you know what? Just it's all good, man. You want to pretend you're an Arab? I mean, is that your online personality? I'm cool with that. No, my family don't celebrate Christmas. Even the Christians don't. Oh, really? Really? What do they say? It's pagan? 100%. So you don't want to do nothing pagan. You don't do nothing pagan. You're making sure that, not even the way you walk can't be pagan. Like the way you dress can't be pagan. Nothing can be pagan. The car can't be pagan. The car can't be made by pagans. Oh, man. No, I mean, we all get together and eat and stuff like that. Spend time together, but as far as like Christmas trees and wreaths and all that stuff, no, we don't do that. That's pagan. I mean, Christ-like.
Full infinite potentialities of human nature burst into bloom. 4. Juridical defense, the importance of political organization. This beneficent balance is attained, Mosca decides, at times and in peoples where it has become law, where, that is, the aggressiveness of social forces, or the individuals who embody them, is checked.
He would listen and write down stuff, so it gives the impression that he really listens to the people. And then he would say, first of all, you have 5 children. What a blessing. That's what we need in Russia. And then please stand up and give him applause. No, he didn't say that, but that would be the next step. Maybe I wouldn't have done it if I was Putin. And then he says, well, that is really an issue, and I understand, and we have to do something about it. And I will talk to my staff. It's all about him talking to the people who do it based on his input. That's how authoritarian leaders work. So it's all going back to him. And he would say, yes, we will do something. I promise, you should get 50% rebate of any flight ticket, period. That's how he stands. It's marvelous.
Wow, he is a man of that person.
it's an art. It's an art to. It's like almost like hypnosis, or like, if you are a good psychologist, you can be very effective. So.
Does it have any kind of rise and fall symmetry to how doctors are trained to give bad diagnoses?
Yeah, I mean, I do think that a good communicator can turn good things into something which has some sort of good. So a very good example actually is Robinson, the motivational speaker, Tony Robbins. I'm not your Tony Robbins. I get dementia. So he is in his movie on Netflix, I'm Not Your Guru. There's a moment which is a Putin-like moment, where there's a girl standing up and saying, I was abused. My family was in this cult. I was abused since I was 5 years old. And then everybody's quiet in that big hotel. It's like 2,000 people listening. So I don't know if anybody has seen that scene. That's a perfect scene of, this is like he turns that into something useful, which might be even exceeding Putin's ability, I'm sure. But there's something there. So communication type stuff.
There you go. I think I have a feeling what you're talking about. In the wrong hands, that is dangerous for sure. When you mix in wealth, prestige, and these hierarchies.
We basically need an antidote saying that institutions are much more important than one person. And this is like common wisdom. This goes back to Lao Tzu and the Tao Te Ching for 2,500 years. The best ruler is the ruler nobody knows. There's so much truth in that. Just look at nature. There's not one animal except the humans, which are fucking but there's not one other animal which is not part of a bigger balance. And the same thing applies to a state, to a country.
Trust. It's kind of that currency we were talking about for years.
Yeah,
institutions matter.
The problem is if money is the only parameter of achievement in a society, this obviously paves the way to corruption. And corruption leads to loss of trust in institutions. So the best antidote would indeed be some sort of a ritual of trust building. That would be the best antidotes. And we are getting there earlier or later, with or without people. It's just going to happen. Otherwise, the society will turn into idiocracy like in the movies. And the podcasters with more than 1 million will rule with like outrageous statements. The public opinion.
Yeah, slogans, not thoughts. No reasoning. That's usually a social thing you do when you agree on facts. You got to start there. Then you can talk about values.
The perfect example for me how to change the world is the Satoshi Nakamoto effect, which nobody knows who he is, but yet, and I'm not saying that you need something like another Bitcoin, but that's the best way to change the world. You do something like a code, a white paper, which is so viral that 10 years ago, $100 in Bitcoin now is worth 30,000. And the same thing you could do with social
It's
capital.
ridiculous.
You have to be just creative. And nobody knows you. He's one of the richest people. I think he exists as a human being. I think he's supposed to have 1 million in Bitcoins, which would be like 40 billion in whatever. But it's not about the money, what I'm thinking about. It's about a social capital. It's some sort of a dividend by investing in trust business, which is so rich. You get so much
Satoshi
dividends.
White Paper, have you ever read it? It's ridiculous.
It's reciprocal.
CIA invested in the
How you
development
invest
of
in one
cryptocurrency through Intel, the VC arm of the CIA.
You know, we betrayed everybody.
Too real.
It's much easier to make money.
Well, is it really? Crypto, can you comment on the capacity for collective, I guess, panic in financial markets? That it's not unique to any particular market. The likelihood of people who can handle money most effectively, and also the existence of possible whales to push around the market in an unregulated space. Do you think that most people who move real money in and out of markets would not play games with crypto? But somebody else could, and that asymmetry is exploitable.
Well, that's what's happening. What's happening is that different people are moving the markets in crypto than in the traditional fiat financial markets, and that pisses off the fiat markets, and that's why they've been trying to get rid of crypto as much as they can. But there's they can't do it because there are now a lot of people who have made a lot of money in Bitcoin especially, but to a small degree other things. And those people are forming lobbying groups and putting pressure on the traditional financial markets.
Yeah, I mean the fact that we have to lose shares currency, and the fact that I mean the reason for that is the trust in our society. As simple as that. And when you see Chinese billionaires buying $100 million flats in New York City with a Delaware LLC, that's the testimony of it. It's like, so trust really is the ultimate oxygen for existence.
Well, it's certainly the ultimate oxygen for commerce.
Yes.
We've bored the shit out of everybody else.
Commerce. What is money for, Dr. Francine? It's not just commerce, savings. I think Marcus hit the pin on the head when he talked about if money is the only parameter for success, then we've basically prostituted everything else to money. And
well,
in this moment of Jesus, I don't know what would Jesus do as a brand, as a slogan, as a meme. what would Jesus do seems pretty interesting as or just the religious movements over time. What did they stand for? Justice against the tyranny of the toppling of the power structures.
Well,
When they're corrupt.
Right now, we have probably the most corrupt power structure we've ever had. And that power structure has attempted to become part of crypto as well as regular fiat currency. I mean, what I think is that, and of course you all know I think this, healthcare and the state of our healthcare system is a metaphor for how we feel about human beings versus money. No, it doesn't all come down to lawyers, David. It all comes down to, it all comes down to what you value. And if you don't value humanity, then you have a healthcare system that doesn't protect it. If you value money, that's where you put your trust.
Well, trust. I think it's just a financialization of everything, and what a mismanagement of the economy to where it's been financialized at every commercial availability without concern to corporations can outlive people, and corporations never go to jail. So it is about lawyers in a capital structure sense, because if you've protected yourself early enough in the formation of this thing that has all the capital, you win.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that money seems to be the ultimate equalizer of everything. You can sense, if an African American gets shot by a police guy in South Chicago, and there is some ambiguity that was, adequate, or like if it was, reasonable, then there will be a lawsuit. The family gets $10 million, and that equalizes the pains. In Magdeburg, now there's a lawsuit in Germany about that guy who drove into the Christmas market because the police and the local authorities usually they put up a barricade around the Christmas markets, but they kept one part wide open for like rescue vehicles. But obviously that was after there was a bad accident like 10 years ago in Berlin. You could say, and they are going to run a lawsuit against the authorities there now, which is very American-like. I don't think that existed probably in Germany 20 years ago that way, but there was no prosecutor in a Christmas money in the first place. But so everything is being equalized by money. Obviously, there are certain things you cannot buy with money.
Yeah, and once again, health. So that's why I focus on this, because I think health is a barometer. Healthcare is a barometer of how we feel about our society in general.
It's interesting. Anyway, I'm in Colombia. I got different thing. Yeah.
Well, now no one's going to talk. I just want to say that at 11:30 Mountain Standard Time, I'm going to do a room on this.
Dr. Francine, sorry, I thought you were done.
Marcus, I'm never done. Just kidding.
Never done. That's good. I want to tell you a story. It's kind of interesting for an American to hear. I'm in Colombia with my in-laws, and they are living in an apartment taken care of. They're 90 and 83. by 4 nurses 24/7. Each nurse gets $30 for a 8-hour shift, or maybe 12-hour shift. I can't remember. It's $30, 30. And then there is the one supervisor nurse, which is organizing the other 4 nurses. And everybody's playing games. it's like you could turn it into a reality show. And then there is the cleaning and cooking person, which the family knows since like 30 years. And she has some authority too, because she knows them the best. But it's a microcosm of society in a way. They're all sitting in one boat. Some are fishing and some are rowing. I'm just kidding.
Yes. I actually have a wealthy friend who has that situation around him. And I don't know if that's good or bad. But I will say that in America, we have nobody taking care of people who are 90, and that's the other end of the spectrum.
And they are belonging to the non-existing middle class in Colombia, or very few middle class. So that they are not really rich, but it's possible to do that in Colombia.
Steve Krohn is in Colombia. Did you know that?
Yeah, no, he's in Peru, I heard, in Machu Picchu. I wanted to invite him to have Christmas dinner with us.
He had already left, I guess, because he was down there last week.
Yeah, he was in Medellin, from what I know, and Cali is like a 10-hour drive away.
Yes, well, I have no idea of the geography down there because I've never been. But, Rick, how was your Christmas?
It was good. It was quiet, and that woman Annie from London. I think she's from London, English, and she has a room every year on Christmas for people that don't have where to go, and it's fun. She plays all kinds of like trivia games, and 20 questions. It's fun. It's just people drop in and out as they're either waiting for people to come over or it's fun. And she's very funny, and it's a fun one to go to. So we were in there, and then we have a kind of a Christmas tradition breakfast that we make, and it's quiet. So it's nice.
Well, we checked out all the important new restaurants in Phoenix in the last 3 days, and I'm finished eating out for a while. All right, people, I'm going to bail and have breakfast myself.
Did you drain your Subaru EV?
I haven't drained my Subaru EV yet, but I have recharged it once because they tell you in my driveway.
Oh, so you got the charger installed? Okay, me too.
But Royal Ascot, like you are forced to wear a hat. Like you have to. They won't let you in if you're not wearing a hat.
But is it a race?
Women. I mean, you have to use one of these things in your hair. It doesn't have to be a hat, but like a thing.
So good to know.
How they're called.
I'm so confused because I was talking about horse races.
Yeah, this is Royal Ascot is horse racing.
Oh, so they get all decked out, like dressed up.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Oh, yeah,
I can't believe Brittany hasn't made a joke about the Royal Ass stuff.
Royal Ascot, but this one is in June. And yeah, it's like at the beginning of summer.
Hey, Lewis, have you seen Kielara's new release? Lewis?
Is it out? It's finally out, Andrew?
Yeah, you should have gotten an email.
So long.
I'm lying.
And I've been learning along the way. And so far, I'm really enjoying it, but I don't take long trips. So you can make fun of me, but so far I'm
Nobody's
doing
making
very
fun of you.
well.
So don't deprecate in advance.
You know, sometimes that's what we have to do. But yeah, Norm, good morning.
Well, you see, the thing with Norman is this, and I'm sorry, Norm, I'll let you go in a second. Norm is an investigative journalist, and when he has a conversation, he has a way of massaging it where he's getting things out of you, and you don't even realize you're divulging shit. It was very, as a former street guy, to watch it, it was amazing to me. Yeah, Norm.
No, I was just going to say thank you. I'm having my first cup of coffee. But this is like the spoon is standing up in the coffee. It's thick Turkish coffee. So I'm preparing to lift off. Fasten your seatbelts. Jay, thanks. You and Beth too. Big hug to you and thank you. I use the app to. What's that? I use the app to figure out what I think. You know, and that's a little bit like Hamlet in the play. Shout out to Shakespeare. I'm going to go see a version of that play tonight with my kid called Sleep No More. But in Hamlet, the main character, the Prince of Denmark, figures out how to deal with life by talking about it. And it's similar. There's a parallel between that and Freudian therapy, where you sit there and talk until you hear yourself. And that's what I do here. I usually break topics up into points, and I try to break them down and analyze them. That's how I've come to understand things. This is why I could be a Democrat who was not a Trump fan, who nevertheless wants the president to succeed because he's the president of the country, and because I know he's pro my people. And it's why I can be pro-black and yet be willing to hold my black brothers and sisters to the same standards that I would hold myself to. I was also a New York City public school teacher for 10 years before I started doing investigative journalism full time. So like Jay, I know the streets, I know the subways, I know New York, and this is the most diverse place probably on the planet, and we know how to get along with each other here. So that's where I'm coming from, and thank you for the kind words.
So I'd like to say that what I've listened to now for 20 minutes, my friend Norm and my new friends who I hope I'll continue to come across in the future. I'll make notes of who you are and I'll make friends with them. With you is that this group of people, for entirely from what I've heard, is composed of open-minded, critical thinking people who, when they disagree, as I said a moment ago, do so respectfully. If you want to see an example, go to the Oxford debates in the last month or two. See Hausdorff, see others. Norm has seen all of these debates as well as myself, if any of you haven't. And you'll see the difference between intransigence, people who are so full of their inability to think clearly, which is clouded by hatred, instead of trying to go beyond that and challenge their own thinking. That's what I do, as Norm knows. I've told him many times. I challenge myself, my own thinking constantly, with an open mind to change.
Beautiful, Shlomo. Happy second left.
No, how many times have you been doxxed on this app?
Well, one person. By the way, I'm not uncomfortable because the information that they have is obsolete, and there's business entities inside of business entities and stuff. And as you know, the Jews of Brooklyn are big Second Amendment fans, so. I would feel bad if anybody was foolish enough to do anything.
Well, no, I'm serious. But no,
Yeah.
don't even mute up. But let me just say this: people don't realize you're like 6'4". You're a big dude, so they better come hip.
If you're gonna come heavy, as Uncle June said to Tony Soprano, right? Yeah, thanks for saying that. So it's happened a few times, and they have pictures of my family and stuff. I try not to react because when I go into a room of 20 haters, I feel like I can often dominate them with the truth, and I think that's very powerful. And this is how we as a people have survived, by being brutally honest. And I'm trying to aspire to that and to do what little I can.
Yeah, but don't even mute up. Let me just say this: people want the truth until you give them the truth. That's a fact.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, one of my mentors, I'll tell you about him in person. He said the truth will set you free, but it'll piss you off first. And people going through they're pissed off to hear things that are uncomfortable to them. We've created this weird culture of coddling and mindless sort of support without holding people to grown-up standards. You shouldn't be calling people names on the air.
Well, I don't care. Listen, no, you can call me whatever name you want. I don't give a fuck about that. But October 8th. Right after October 7th, I saw an explosion, not just in anti-Semitism, but in craziness. People just losing their fucking minds, thinking they can say whatever they want. And, I know a lot of people, this is not my house. I'm a guest in this house, right? This is really Roger and Kelly's house. And I always try to respect the house as a guest. But even they said, wait a sec, and they're both First Amendment opponents, and I respect that. But where's the line between, hurting somebody with your words and the First Amendment? Where's that line, Bob?
I don't know anymore, because I am borderline First Amendment absolutist. But when you use the truth as weapons, then you have to reconsider, I think. And if you create a justification for hurting people, if somebody said all the Albanian shepherds were after your kids, and we're coming to get them, I would say that's inciting violence, and I would say that crosses the line. So, new rules are being made with social media. Social media has changed everything. And our old institutions like print media, broadcast media, they're fragile.
Wait, no, let me ask you this question. Don't even mute up. Let me ask you this question. And this is for you and everybody else in the room on stage. Do you feel that social media has been a bigger, a better thing for society, or it's made society more dangerous?
Well, the short answer is, I don't know about the latter, but I think it's had a harmful impact on our minds. And Jonathan Haidt has a really good book about this, so I recommend it to you. He's a person who believes in heterodox thinking, not orthodox thinking.
What is that?
But he will tell you.
What's heterodox?
That means that you are not tribal in your thought, that you're not orthodox in your thought, that you're willing to incorporate. It's sort of what Shlomo was getting at before. You're willing to incorporate good ideas from any side of the political spectrum. You're not merely loyal to a team. And he theorizes that our attention, and especially the attention of our young people, because you and I didn't grow up with this, so I don't think we're that emotionally involved in who's following us on Instagram. I barely notice. But to my kid, I will tell you, if somebody unfollows them, that's a big message, and people get depressed. And I mean young people.
Bro, it's so funny you say that. I have a friend, right? She has whatever the max number of friends you can have on Facebook. And rest assured, it's like 5,000, 10,000, the phone numbers. But rest assured, if you want to follow her, you'll get a phone call within 24 hours. And it's crazy, man. Like, what, how did you even know? She's like, I know. It's like so important to her. That's her currency, I guess. But you know, let me see this. Hold on. Lunatic Libertarian says society as an environment has always been dangerous. I agree, Lunatic. But the question was, has it become more dangerous because of the internet, because of the social media, social audio? People have been killed off this app. So I'm curious, has it become more dangerous? Beth, Shelley, Shlomo, what do you think? You think it's become more dangerous because of social media, social audio?
I think
Absolutely.
what we experienced. Yes, sorry. I was just going to say, after what we experienced the last 3 days out of this lunatic that we've known for years, and he's enraged now, to be able to say that he's going to kill people. And we know that there have been people killed, kidnapped, held hostage off this app. Yeah, it's getting scarier and scarier. Do I want my kids on here? Absolutely not.
Well, let me give a quick reset. Healthy Debates, the first annual convention for crazy people. Norm, as soon as I open the room, this gentleman named Hutch, who I've been in rooms with for a few years, always very docile, respectful, really nice guy. Has gone off the deep end. He came up on my stage. He threatened to shoot me on IG Live or Facebook Live because I said I didn't want him trauma dumping in my room today. And he came, and once he threatened me, I put my address in the chat. I said, come on over. Because I think that you have to stand up to these people. I understand where some of these, mostly the women on this app, they get nervous. Like, oh my God, I have to, worry now. I'm not going to live in fear. If you're going to threaten me, I'm going to give you my address. But that to me is crossing the line.
Of course, I agree with you. To some extent, not necessarily in this room, but many of the women that we love, whom we love, are dependent on us for protection. So that's another question. But another thing I found is that people who are not functional in normal social circles are drawn to these media because they can conceal who they are. So they hide behind an avatar and a profile, and they can barely function. They're seriously mentally ill. And I think the heyday of this app is behind us, and I think unfortunately many of the people who remain, present company accepted, are they're not quite sane. They're not quite healthy. They're toxic. It's an issue, and we're running into it a lot. In some cases, it's bringing out the worst in people. Fortunately, not in all cases.
And I agree with you. And I also said this earlier. And what really made me start thinking about this, Norm, was last night. I've been around Roger for a long time, and I've never heard him say, I'm permanently banning somebody and anybody that associates with this person. Because he just got better. Because Roger's, I don't know if people notice, has been holding some really great spaces, like he usually does. And he just wants to have the conversations, even if you have a different point of view. And for him to say that really put a thought in my head. But then I went into this person's room. It was Sarah F. And Sarah was drunk, and she was belligerent. She was nasty. And I said, he's right. Who the fuck wants this toxicity around? And the people that enable her are just as guilty as she is. You think it's funny, you want to kiki with these people. Let me tell you something. People like Sarah F., and this is no bullshit. They're dangerous on this app and in real life. I believe that wholeheartedly.
I agree with you, Jay, because you said earlier, what could be the danger of that? And I totally agree. And that's where, I take men's opinions because I am raising a young man, right? And stay away from women like that. Stay away. Like, he can't even stand when my daughter has her little girlfriends in the house. He's like, keep them away from my side of the house. I'm like, perfectly fine. He's like, they could say that I did anything to him, right? He's a good-looking 21-year-old. And they're all teenagers. I don't want to be around them, Mom. Got it? Because they can't. And I think what you said earlier is absolutely true, that Sarah could be one of those people that would go out with a man and then cause a whole fuss.
She's definitely the type of woman that will go out with a guy and make unfounded accusations and ruin a guy's life. She has no moral compass, and I believe that wholeheartedly. But it's not just that. Sarah's just indicative of the problem that we have in real life and on this app, right? Look, I said earlier when Pro Lyrical was in the room, I say with Norm in the room, I don't always agree with Norm. He frustrates the fuck out of me. But at the end of the conversation, we still leave with respect for each other. He's still my friend. But we cultivated that friendship. But then you got these crazies that come in here, come into these spaces, and just want to gaslight conversations, gaslight people, dox people. And I'm going to be totally honest. For me, Reba doesn't understand, or maybe she doesn't, she don't give a fuck, by putting Hill's real name in the chat, how much shit that could cause for this woman. But she don't give a fuck because she has the autonomy behind the mic, behind the screen. Well, let me tell you something. It's been my experience in life. What you do to others gets brought back to you. I promise you. I believe in karma. Karma has no menu. You get served what you deserve. And to do that, it's unfounded. It's uncalled for, bro. There's no reason to do that. If you don't like somebody, leave. Okay, once again, Reba. So you put a name out there. Doesn't mean you have to regurgitate it. It's just bizarre. Anyway, anybody wants to come up, raise your hand.
It's not public knowledge, Reba. It is not public knowledge. You know how many people in this room right now don't know her name and only know it because you put it out there. So, again, and I hate to bring this up, I have means which to find public court records, and none exists. With the name you provided, none exists. So, Reba, I don't know if you need to touch grass, but you are who this room is about. Because there is no protection order, and I actually have the ability to find these things out, and I utilize that. So I don't know if you need to get professional help, but suggest you do. And I mean this in all sincerity. I would go to the doctor, find out what you need to do, but I would probably get off the app.
Well, Reba, I've invited, speaking of lunatics, this asshole is here. He's another crazy fuck. Anti-Semite. Goodbye, asshole. I'm not even dealing with that anti-Semite asshole. Yeah, Reba, I invited you up to the stage a few times. You're more than welcome. Nobody's going to attack you. You'll get a chance to speak. I'll invite you up one more time. Come up and speak. Don't be a chat. Matter of fact, maybe I'll just shut the chat off. If you got something to say, come up. Let's clear the air.
Anyone other than Al, what does this mean? Are you fucking retarded? You have shit in your ears? Come on up.
You see what
I did the heavy lifting. I did the work. There illegally. You want to ask me how? Come on up. It's public record. See, you know that, and I know that. Anybody can look. I have an expedited way, but these are public records. That's not doxing. What you did is doxing. See how that works?
So let me ask you a question. Reba, if I clear the stage, it's just you and me on stage, would you come up?
No.
So you can speak your piece?
Jay, are you that stupid? Reba doesn't talk.
So when you write, anyone other than L, be warned about that one.
Yes, be warned about this one, because I don't put up with any shit. So if you make some bullshit claims, I'm probably
What are
gonna call
Reba's
you out.
claims? I don't understand.
Yeah, be warned. So I'm not gonna let it go like a dog with a fucking bone.
Well, let me say this, Reba. I don't know if you know L. Okay.
It is made up. See, this we're talking about, Jay, like the crazy, like when you have a name and you look for said protection order, it's there or it's not there. There's one of two. This isn't gray area. The law is black and white in regards to protection orders. There is one, and it's a matter of public record, or it is not. So who's crazy here?
Well, Reba, I'll say this. I got to know Elle in real life. Thank God I consider her my friend. When I was going through some personal shit, guess what? She actually reached out because she's a good woman. So this craziness that you're spewing is bullshit. And I really implore you to come up to the stage. But you're not going to. So anyway, let me do a little reset. This is Healthy Debates, guys. Grab a pink ticket, cash it in. Today's raffle prize is lunch with El Normal. How about that? My treat, you and El Normal. If you cash your pink ticket, you win the raffle prize. This is the first annual convention for crazy people.
She is right. This was great fun, and it's what the room was about. Reba provided great content, to which Exhibit A. This is what crazy looks like.
To me, crazy is when Hutch comes up on stage and says he's going to shoot me on live IG. That's kind of crazy. For a fucking social audio app, Al.
She said, but it is true, because I said so. See, but again, Reba, provide the protection order. Provide it. No, because it doesn't exist. See, people who have proof have proof. But you don't have any. Because it doesn't exist.
But you know what, El? In her mind, it does. What's up, Jeremy? Just like when Joe B went around out telling people I hacked her email account. I can't even sign into mine half the time. I don't remember the password. But it's okay that she, in her mind, it's okay that she did that. That she ran into every room she go into and said, JB hacked my email account. I get it. Joe B's a lonely old lady. And she's looking for attention. It doesn't give you a right to dox people, lie on their names. It's crazy to me. That's crazy.
Reba, it is my business now. You made it my business, and I looked and found out you're a liar. So, yeah, see ya.
Okay. Look, Joe B, I'm not looking to argue with you. You admitted you lied. There's no receipts. See, if I say something, if I say I saw Norm walking down the street in pink panties, I'm going to provide pictures. I'm going to provide receipts. People just say whatever they want and say, oh, it was 3 years ago. It was 2 years ago. It's just Kansas versions and dox people and then play dumb. Amazing.
Hold on, I'm cleaning my kitchen, okay? I was lazy last night and left my kitchen a mess, but Elle, you gotta go back to that Reba girl and say, see ya, don't wanna be ya.
Yeah, well, you said I should ask around. I should ask around on Clubhouse if something is true. Not court orders, not actual public records. I should ask around make this shit up. And she takes care of people, allegedly. And now I'm questioning if this is even a real person. Like, get bent, lady. Get fucking bent.
Well, we have found some crazies today, and now we have our undercover agent who can find, along with Elle and I, all kinds of shit on people. Good morning, Elena. Still cleaning the kitchen.
They make public records for a reason, and again, have ways to check. You can expedite that search real easily. I mean, so I would take my search over, quote unquote, asking around on Clubhouse. That doesn't seem very reliable. Call me crazy. Call me crazy. Asking around on Clubhouse. I don't know. Just.
Good morning, Elena.
Good morning. Very interesting conversation. I mean, there's nothing new to learn here as far as Clubhouse. Let's be honest. If you look down below, and I'm just saying, and I'm sure there's lovely people below, but odds are there will be a few that are very unhappy in their life, unhappy with themselves, have poor self-image, and have a craving to abuse somebody else. And that is the key to doxing and all these other things. There's a perverse pleasure. I get excited when I make a sale. There's a high in it, right? If I make a sale. So the person that does this there's a high. It's a reaction that they get, and they look for it. And same with trolls. The trolls, God forbid they have a real conversation. They don't want to do that. They'd be frightened off. They just want to come and disrupt, and it gives them, again, first pleasure. So, I mean, that's Clubhouse. My son's 35, and I said, just stay away from this app. It's just not healthy.
Well, Elena, respectfully, we can learn something today. I'm gonna tell you why. Because I had a gentleman who I've been having conversations with for probably 3 or 4 years now. Always very docile, always very sweet, wishing everybody the best and all that stuff. But he came into my room today and threatened to shoot me live on Instagram.
I heard that. Yeah, I did hear that. I heard what you did. I did listen to that, JP. That took a lot of balls on your part to give him your information. But yes, a lot of times it's bark is worse than the bite. You're absolutely spot on. I was listening to your discussion. I think you mentioned it last night too. You talked about this guy that had done that. But the app is always going to have danger, mixed with nice people. Because I've met a lot of very nice people on this app, and I've met many personally. So there's a lot of good, but the problem is weeding out the ones that aren't good. And I don't know what the problem is with Reba, but if she's a nurse, it's not very nursely. Just saying to do that, it's not really very nursely. I'm not sure I know who you are, but for some reason I had you blocked. I'm just want to tell you that, and I couldn't tell you why right now.
If Elena has you blocked, you are probably not a good person.
I don't have many people blocked. And I don't know why. Obviously, you left a major impression.
Gee, I wonder why. Suggesting that we ask around on Clubhouse for information.
Well, let me say this. One thing I don't understand. Thank you, Elena. I appreciate you. Is how when I will say to somebody, I may say to Beth, to Elle, these are stubborn women. Hey, ladies, be careful of this person. They're a piece of shit. Now, I'm not saying that just to say it because I don't like the person. I'm saying it because there's a basis for it, right? But they got to learn their own lessons. But my thing is, if somebody warns you, somebody has your best interest out, why don't we listen? Why don't people always be like, I know what I'm doing? And then when they get burned, they're like, oh, I should have listened to JB. But let me say, Happy Hanukkah to Jeremy. Jeremy, Happy Hanukkah, my brother.
Hanukkah to you and everybody else here.
Thank you,
man. Here, hey, how's everyone doing this morning?
Yo, Jeremy, man, let me say this, man. You're one of the people I have the most respect for on this app because you and I, we were banging for a while over a misunderstanding. But as men, we came together and said, "Wait a second, let's take a step back and see who that person really is." And you gave me that opportunity, and I have respect for it. So I just wanted to say that to you.
Thanks, man. So, yeah. Anyway, on that note, dude, we're gonna have a new year in a few days. So, I hope everyone takes the opportunity to find what's good in life. So, is there a lot of crazies on here? I don't know.
Well, let me ask you a question, Jeremy.
Yeah.
There's always been crazies on here, right? We all know that.
Yeah, dude.
But do you think that it's gone to a new level after October 7th?
The Jew hating has gone to a new level that I never thought I'd see, actually. I don't know about if that's like the general craziness. I don't know. I think the craziness in the world has gone up pretty sharply since October 7th. Especially as seen here on Clubhouse. It's a little insane to me that so many people are. You know what October 7th did for the world is that it's, although a lot of people are wearing masks when they're being assholes and idiots on the streets and on the internet, it's taken the mask off of this anti-Semitism, which has just been right under the surface. And our friends, like in the Jewish community, some of my family members, because I've been, raising the alarm about this kind of Jew hatred for a while, and that my family be like, "Oh, it's not that bad. What do you mean? We don't see any of that." Now it's like, not only were you not overreacting before, but you probably were underreacting. If you think about like the harshness and what's going on in the world, like all the people that were raising the alarm about anti-Semitism and Jew hatred before, which were told, repeatedly how we were, overreacting. Now, if anything, they can see that we were literally underreacting. I think there's a pretty famous little video clip, and I'm going to silence myself after this, of Joe Rogan saying something similar to that, post-October 7th. It's kind of impactful.
You know what, Jeremy, man? Maybe because I'm from New York and no one's from New York, it just never made sense to me to hate somebody if they're a Christian, if they're a Jew, if they're a Muslim. Who cares what religion people practice? Why do people on this app internalize it and make it like, "Oh, you're a Catholic, you're a Christian, I'm going to dox you now"? It makes no sense to me, bro, to wish bad on people.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. No. I know I kind of stay in my little corner of the internet, with my Jewish friends here on Clubhouse for the most part. But it's insane to me. It's insane to me what the level of acceptance, not only in the communities here on Clubhouse, but in the greater internet and the greater world of just flat out accepting this kind of hatred. And for some reason, dude, you can't question someone's identity in other ways, but you sure the hell can question the identity of someone who's Jewish. And you can't question, there's so many things in this like virus of wokeness, but it's okay to be hateful against Jewish people, to not be accepting of that. I don't understand how that adds up. Why is it acceptable to be you can be genocidal against Israel openly, call for its destruction, which we hear every single day from our adversaries, and it's just acceptable. But if Israel wants to wipe out the terrorists, if Israel wants to wipe out the jihadists, then we're genociders, and we're going to be brought to the International Criminal Court, but not the actual, perpetrators of genocide.
I appreciate you, bro. So I'm going to do a quick reset. This is Healthy Debates. This is the first annual convention for crazy people. So the reason I had this room was last night I was in the room with
It's a convention for people like me!
fucking mind. And I won't even have her in my spaces anymore. Roger's banned craziness on this app. And I wonder if some of these people who really are fucking crazy, say the craziest thing, death to Jews, death to blacks, whatever it may be, how they feel it's okay to just, because of freedom of speech, they can say what they want. It just doesn't make sense. Then I had a guy come in here today, say he was going to shoot me live on IG. Somebody I've shared space with for years would never show that side of himself, that psychotic, I'll come kill you, because I told him I didn't want to trauma them. It's amazing to me. Let me say good morning to Jebediah and Godmother. Good morning, Jebediah.
What's going on? How are you, Jay?
Doing well. Happy holidays.
Same to you. I just want to come up to you because the drama that's going on in the chat, there's no, that was all, I was a part of that crew that Hillary's talking about, okay? There was no court order, nothing. In fact, that person, that fucking troublemaker who was spreading the rumors to this girl, Reba, believing this bullshit, that motherfucker had me show him $10 million apartments in Manhattan. $300 in Uber, and it's time to negotiate, and the developer wants to see the tax returns, and guess what happens? This asshole sends a corrupt file and backs out. We had decorators up there, everything. This person is the biggest piece of fucking shit. Humiliated me at my fucking job, and he is garbage. He is a lonely, decrepit old man who I wouldn't fuck if you paid me. Okay.
Godmother,
So whatever you're.
Somebody from Clubhouse.
Yes. I'm not doxing them at all. I'm just trying to clear up the drama with this girl Reba about the court. Like, that's whatever you heard regarding Hillary is bullshit. That person is a freaking psychopath. Because I don't know anybody in their right mind who has a realtor show them $10 million apartments, has 6 different interior decorators pricing out to decorate the places, everything. And in the middle, you don't even want to know what kind of deal I negotiated for this guy. You guys would have taken it, okay? And it's time to send the financials over, and it's a corrupt file, and you pull out. Because it was all fucking bullshit. And you know what their main plan was? Let me tell you something. You know why that was done to me? Because 2 years ago, I was a fat bastard. And that guy the whole time was taking photos of videos of me. To show everybody that Godmother's a fat shit. Guess what? Godmother lost 100 pounds and is a size 6. So if anybody wants to do a photo shoot, now I'm going to
Yes, Godmother did it!
Now I'm going to charge you. Because I look a lot different naked now. Reba got caught in the mix of believing a Class A manipulator who's a bullshit artist.
Yes, but Reba is also a liar, and I'll tell you why. Because court orders, protection orders are public record. Reba doesn't strike me as an idiot. Reba knows this. So Reba is, in fact, a liar. Now, Reba's also spreading a bunch of bullshit that may be believed because it sounds like this person is, in fact, a con artist. But the spreading of protection orders, that's so easily found out that, like, why one would keep repeating something that's so easy to verify, that just makes you a liar.
And I just want to let you know, this is a married man that's on this app that flirts and gets sexual with women on the app, and he is married. Okay? And he is No, we cannot. I'm not going to get sued, but this person's a piece of shit. I'm not. I got too much to lose, Jay.
Okay, I respect that, but let me just say this real quick. So one of the reasons I come back on this app, right, with all the shit I've been through, is loyalty. And what I mean by that is, for those who don't know Mr. Groot down in the VIP section, you won't find a more loyal friend. You won't find a woman of more integrity than Mr. Groot. And I say that sincerely. So whoever doesn't follow Mr. Groot, if you want a good person in your life, in your circle, follow her right down, man. She's the real deal right there. Good morning, Anthony. Anthony Edwards, good morning.
Sorry, Jay. Good morning, brother. I rose again.
happy holidays to you, man.
Man, same to you, man. I hope you guys had a Merry Christmas, man. I hope your family is continue to be blessed, bro. And, going into this new year, man, everything you dream of, everything you want to achieve, I'm sure you will, because that's the kind of guy you are, man. So wishing you nothing but positive energy, bro.
Man, same thing back to you. And I just want to clarify something, Anthony. And I hate to do this to you. But you and I had a bet on the presidential election, correct? Yes or no?
We absolutely did.
It was $500, correct? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. It was $500.
Did I pay my debt the next day?
You absolutely did. You not only paid your debt, you seeked me out to pay your debt. You didn't. You're waiting for me to come.
What? This fucking idiot bet $500 on Kamala?
You paid it in full. You're a
He
gentleman.
bet $500 on Kamala. I love it.
As per usual.
Thank you. I just wanted to clarify. For those who talking shit about me, to me, integrity means something. My word means everything. Once you break your word, that's it. You get no respect.
Jared, it does not to show the.
I can't remember. Did we make a bet on the election too? Do you owe me $500?
We definitely did not. That's a good try, bro. I respect the try.
I'm upselling my graft a little bit here. I was hoping I made a bet with you in a fit of confusion. I'm sorry if I didn't. I could have used the $500 recently.
Nah, dude. Everybody I lost to, I paid the next within 25. I tried to pay within 24 hours, and I was able to reach them. But so Jebediah, what do you think about the first annual convention for crazy people? Because Clubhouse is a cesspool.
Well, I'm outside of the primary topic.
How much did you lose betting on a loser?
Conflict, but I was wanting. I came to the stage when Elena made a
Which
comment.
did you lose betting on a loser?
I wanted to support her statement that the world's gotten crazy. I think you even echoed it. I just lived in a world of when I had to deal with things that confused me around how other people behaved. I lived in the world that I think could be summarized by the Billy Joel song, I Didn't Start the Fire. But on October 7th of last year, I think that was truly a debacle of the human race of our lifetime since World War II. I mean, there's been a bunch of things happen since World War II, but that particular one was a turning point where I think your buddy who left the stage, Jeremiah, was right. That exposed, I think, an underlying, willfully ignored building sense of anti-Semitism. And from that point on, I think it was more than the typical conflict that results between two people. It was truly a massive hate that has to be, combated. So I just wanted Elena to know that I heard her and I framed my thinking around that topic, around the idea that October 7th was a milestone, and up until that point it was just the natural conflict of mankind. We may have reached a milestone with that October 7th event.
Thank you, Jebediah.
I'm sure that I'm going to go back and check your diary, Jake, because I think there's at least a fighter's chance you'll be $500. I just don't.
Zero chance.
Yeah, no.
Zero chance. But good. Keep going. No, I'm telling you, I don't owe anybody any money. I paid all my debts. But let me say happy holidays to Keaton Levine, who cursed me out the last time we spoke, but it's all good. I still offered him the fighting spirit. He said, "Shut the fuck up, you asshole." I said, "All right, never heard Levine curse, but how you doing? Happy holidays."
Happy holidays. And, we both get agitated sometimes or upset, so I apologize for that, Jay. Sometimes I get a little upset, but
Nah, bro, because you and I built a rapport over the years. We may argue, but we come back to respect.
Exactly. So, if I ever do that, just know that, it's not intentional, or if I say something that's rude, it's not what I mean. So just know. I get very passionate. Jay, there's a topic that I don't know if you've been following on Twitter that I was shocked no one is talking about on Clubhouse. I just don't have time to start a room on it. Have you heard about this H-1B stuff that's going on right now on Twitter? So the issue.
Wait, I'm gonna let you speak. Let me just say this. I find Twitter to be more toxic than Clubhouse.
Fair. That's fair. But right now there's a big war going on between actual MAGA supporters like Gavin Wax and Laura Loomer, I mean, take it for what it's worth, Ashley St. Clair, ALX, all of these people against Trump, because Trump is talking about, he put a statement in his, when he was running that, I don't know why they didn't say anything then, but he said, we want anyone who comes here to go to who goes to a STEM, university, we want to stamp their diploma with a green card. And now Elon Musk is coming out saying we need more H-1Bs for high, intelligent positions like AI and things like that. And these people are going nuts. They're like, like Trump is backstabbing us. Like, this is not America first. You need to end the H-1B program. Stop bringing in all these people. And while they're right that the H-1B program has a lot of fraud and abuse, a lot of, you can just Google it. You'll see there's tons of like lawsuits against, these consulting firms and all that. It is interesting to watch this war go on between all of them. So, Vivian Ramaswamy had to put a statement today.
Well, let me say this, Naveen. You and I, and Anthony as well, have disagreed on political issues, right? I voted for Kamala. But I have to tell you something. As an American, bro, as an American man, this is the first time, I couldn't even tell you how many years that I'm excited about America, and I'm excited about the leadership coming in, even though I didn't vote for him. I'm excited.
Well, there you go. And, and we should be excited. I mean, did you see today, today's news? I'm sure Elle saw it. All the data for the last year on jobs has been revised to the point where some of the jobs are negative. You can Google it. Even Elon is talking about it just now. He did a video on X where he's talking about it. He's saying, how do you get this data wrong? Basically, they've revised the numbers to negative, saying that there was negative job growth from August till November, but the government was putting out positive job growth. Amazing. If Trump was doing that, they'd be all over it. Be like, oh, look at this, and media would be covering it. Now, only Wall Street Journal covered it.
Well, I'll tell you what, Naveen, and it's just my opinion. Roger touched on it last night, and I agreed with him wholeheartedly. I think the economy is back, but it's back because Trump's coming into office. It has nothing to do with Biden, who's been ineffective, been a ghost, basically. But I think the economy's coming back because people are excited. Let me tell you something. The day after the election, I have a friend, this is really the truth, who our 401k went up $5,000 the day after the election because people are excited about what Trump could possibly do. The job reports, we all know they were misleading. And, it's time for new blood, bro.
Yeah, JB, I'm on the front end of the foundational industries of America, and you're right. There's going to be a first quarter. I don't know how long it'll last, but companies are planning to release capital on projects they were holding up on until the results of the election became clear. So the optimism actually is going to be. I don't know if it's a 1, 2, or 10-year type deal, but there's going to be a release of capital in the first half of next year that.
Jebediah, let me just say this. You don't have to mute up. Let me just say this.
Don't even have to mute up.
And it's just my opinion. I'm not a real estate person. Godmother's a real estate person in the room. But I think there's going to be a real estate boom at least the first year of Trump in office. I think real estate's going to go through the office. They're going to lower rates, and the real estate market's.
Do you think so Jay, it's great you brought that up. So right now it's been a seller's market, right? There's people selling their homes, and I mean, in my community, somebody sold their home for probably about $400,000 more than what it's worth. I mean, it's insane, which is good because my house went up. Do you think it's going to be more of a buyer's market now, or what do you think it's going to maintain the seller's
market? I think it's absolutely going to be a buyer's market. I think Trump's going to make it more affordable for people to buy homes. I'm not, like I said, Godmother, she's the real estate person. I'm not. It's just a feeling I get from friends who are in the real estate market. They're excited, and January next month can't come fast enough for the inauguration. Let's take a breath, America.
Yeah, sorry, I'm listening, and I'm going to jump in on this real quick. Is that I am praying for Trump to go straight after NAR and not make what Biden has done to our country, along with the government, of coming after real estate professionals. And it has been really hard.
My apologies. Beth, my apologies. Beth is also a real estate person. My apologies.
Oh, no problem. But we've made it extremely hard on buyers right now under this administration with this lawsuit that we held against us, that we had to battle. And now we can't get lenders to even help out the buyers to fix what's going on. One, real estate professionals don't work for free. I don't know anybody that really works for free unless you're helping a neighbor or a family member, right, or a friend. But Trump has got to hop in and help fix this.
I think, well, Anthony, you had your hand raised. You want to jump in? Because I know you're down with real estate.
I love Beth, but Beth is wrong in this situation, and I'm not going to say anything more than that. And so any assertions that the real estate market is going to boom would by definition be a seller's market. It will not be a buyer's market. Even if we, lowered interest rates or whatever, it would still be a seller's market. The price is going up, advantage seller. Price is coming down, advantage buyers.
But Anthony, let me ask you a question respectfully. And I'm trying to learn here, because like I said, I'm not the real estate guy. I got these amazing women on my stage who are. But Anthony's question is for you, Naveen, Jebediah, anybody who wants to jump in. How much power does Trump really have over controlling real estate?
So, all right.
I mean, besides buying Greenland.
So,
Jay is such a facetious little fuck.
He can institute some policies. He could replace, Jerome Powell and try to get
Always talking about
down.
outside of both sides of his mouth. He's positive Trump, he's negative Trump. He's positive Trump, he's negative Trump.
There's a limited amount of power that he has. Listen, I think I'm excited for America, but not for the same reasons that a lot of people, the economy may very well, go through some difficult periods. And I think Elon Musk talked about it, that the economy may go through some correction. And people might be up in arms and people might, go crazy and point fingers at Trump and say, I can't believe this. Look, some of the policies he's talking about may very well be inflationary. Lowering rates, may not help with inflation. It may, spark inflation to go up. It's tough, brother. I don't expect miracles from Trump. I just didn't like anything that the other side was pushing. That's my point.
So Anthony or Beth, maybe one of you can answer this. My question is, I was told that part of the real estate crisis is a lack of inventory. Is that still there, or do you think, there's a plan to change that?
So there's more inventory coming onto the market, but relatively speaking, there's still a lack of inventory. There's a lot of people that are what's called locked in. I think over 50% of mortgages are below 3.5%, 3.75%. So if you sell your house, you have to move somewhere. And, it's like when you compare what your new mortgage is going to be to what your old mortgage was, even if you cash in a nice healthy amount of money, you still you're doing the balancing act. I might as well just stick to where I'm at right now.
But Anthony, let me ask you this. Does a company like BlackRock, right, who buys entire blocks of neighborhoods?
No, that's not true. It's Blackstone, not
Blackstone. My apologies, Blackstone. When companies like Blackstone buy entire blocks of neighborhoods and takes these houses off the market, how does that not impact them?
Okay, so the reason why they're doing what they're doing is they anticipate a generation of people not being able to afford to buy a property, and they're going to need
because
to rent.
They bought it.
And therefore, they'll
You
have
can't buy it. We already bought it.
really good.
correct. 100%. He's right.
Yeah,
These corporations coming in, buying these homes, that's how they get us by the balls, how we continue to be a slave to corporate America, because they put you in a situation where you couldn't buy a house if you wanted to. And it's constant income coming in for them, so they could sit on their fucking ass and just collect.
Well, hold on a second. I just need to address something. Hey, Superman, when you say Blackstone is Jewish owned, what the fuck does that have to? What if they were? Go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, no, and I don't want to correct you, Michelle, but I have to. It is BlackRock. That is the hedge fund company that is out buying everything. Blackstone is a whole different hedge fund of stuff. They do not deal in real estate yet.
Blackstone, but you see, Anthony, see what I'm saying, bro? We can't have a conversation without the anti-Semitism just permeate to the top. It's bizarre to me. Who gives a fuck if they're Jewish owned?
They can't control themselves, though. A lot of people are very ineffective in their lives. They feel like they can't, no matter what they do, they can't get ahead. They're stuck. So it can never just be them. They have to blame the money grubbing evil Jewish conglomerate. This whole thing, they have their foot on my back and I can't do anything. But it's you. If you can't make it, it's you. Look at the man in the mirror, please.
Man in the mirror.
Joe Slaughter, hold on, Jebediah. Hold on 1 second. Let me say good morning to Joe Slaughter.
I just want you guys to refer to the link where BlackRock says they're not buying the single family homes and the thing. I posted the link.
Thank you, Godmother. Appreciate you. Joe Slaughter, how you doing? Happy holidays. Joe Slaughter? Okay. Kelly, what's up? Nice to meet you.
Fuck, Kelly's here.
I'm riding to
Maybe
the
I'll go
grocery
take a
store, so
shower.
I thought I'd come up and say hello and happy holidays to everybody.
Kels, happy holidays.
Yeah, I hope everyone had a great Christmas that does Christmas and and New Year, and then Hanukkah 8 days, so we get to celebrate that at the same time. So I'm pretty excited for everyone. But really quickly, it is not. I've never known of a company that only accepted stock purchases from one group of people. Well, I guess it's not true. It's the group of people that has the money to buy the stock. But now on Robinhood, you can buy $1 of almost any stock. So
That's awesome.
everybody who's not Jewish out there, go buy $1 of Blackstone so we can prove this dude wrong. I mean, this shit is crazy. Publicly traded companies are not owned by the Jews.
Yeah, I don't know why it always circles back to that. Good morning, Joe Slaughter. Good afternoon.
At public school.
It circles back to that because they see people that are prominent figures in the Jewish rooms and they're trying to poke the bear. That's what that's about. We should have probably just ignored that person because if their objective was to poke Jay and get a reaction, you gave it to him.
Well, let me say good morning. Happy holidays, Marshall Rankin.
Merry Christmas, Jay. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, man. So we somehow got onto the subject of real estate, and the question I had was, how much power does the president have to dictate that market?
I don't know, actually. I know the federal government can use eminent domain to take land to have along the border for fencing or for wall. As to whether he could impact the direct sale of a subdivision, I don't know.
He's directing the impact of a subdivision.
Then you can barbecue and smoke some more meat, and we'll go in to the inauguration and feed them up and then get them to sign the bill.
Jay, was barbecue.
Was your question more about how the interest rates can be impacted by the administration and how that can affect the market?
Yes, exactly, Kelly. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, people will argue both sides of this. They're not supposed to be, but I guess appointments have weight. But it's not meant to work that.
Wow, the app is glitchy today.
Good morning and happy holidays, Joe Slaughter.
I was going to say golden cuffs. 3.5% interest rate already feels like a golden cuff to me, but I got friends with 2.5% interest rates.
Wait, Joe, teach me something. What's a golden cuff?
A golden cuff is the term for I will not move or relocate for a job because I have such great mortgage rates that the cost of living to bring me to another city would include the new mortgage rate. so it changes the wages that I ask for as a relocation package. Golden Cuffs.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Chiva, how you doing, Chiva?
Hey, JB. How's it going?
Happy holidays, brother. It's going well. So, I'm going to do a quick reset. This is Celtic Debates, the first annual convention for crazy people. Chiva, what do you think about the crazy people on Clubhouse?
I'm one of them.
Yeah, but you're harmless crazy.
I think I'd agree.
I'm also one of them.
And
There's crazy people everywhere.
neither one of them are ever going to come in and tell you they're going to come kill you. I mean, Michelle might say she's going to kick you in the balls or something, Jay, but two good people right here, and that's okay if they're crazy. I love them.
I'm only going to make one claim. I'm not the craziest, because there will always be a crazier one that will come along.
Well, I got my last I'm going to come shoot you on live IG thread of the year today. So I assume that would be crazy.
Oh, no, not like
or
that.
was it crazy? Was it crazier of me to put my address in the chat and invite him over to come kill me? What's crazier, his threat or my address?
Well, his claim is he's blind, okay? He's blinded and his legs aren't working right now, so I don't know how he's getting to.
That's what I said. I said, bro, if you're blind and you can't walk, how are you going to come shoot me?
We're all a little crazy.
Crazy subjective. Anyway, Naveen, you there, Naveen? King Naveen? Nope. Does anybody think that Trump is going to, first day in office, sign mass deportation? You think that's a reality? Tom Holman came out. Hold on, come on, let me finish. Tom Holman came out, I think it was yesterday or the day before, and said it's going to cost $86 billion for mass deportation just to start. What do you guys think? It's a reality?
It's a bargain.
The president has wide latitude when it comes to immigration. So he can sign a couple of executive orders and get started moving people who are here illegally fairly quickly. Now, can he do it?
Marshall, where's he get the $86 billion from to do?
Well, it would be, actually, from the appropriated 2025 CR, if I am recalling correctly.
He's quoting CRs?
To ICE and things like that. Now, if he doesn't have enough money, he can't necessarily do anything on his first day when it comes to that. If like the coffers are at 20 billion and he needs 84 to start, well then Congress has to appropriate more money.
It's never going to happen. We'll have a food shortage because are you going to go out and pick the oranges and the apples? Because I'm not.
Would I? Yes. But that's just because I live in a place where it happens.
No, I'm just trying to make a point that we're going to have nobody to do any of that stuff because that's who's out in those fields.
Look, I don't.
And you're not going to be able to pay you enough money for you to do that as a job and for a career for a decent livelihood. That's not.
Yeah, you could be the futurist here. With an agricultural group, start making about $55,000, $60,000.
No, I know the AI robot is going to pick the apples.
I mean, maybe not. Apples would write brews, and if you have a robot picker, there's not a ton of. Robots can show finesse, but if say there's like a soft spot and the robot squeezes a little extra hard.
No, right? But if we're going back to what Jay said, is Trump going to do that? My answer is probably.
But you're saying, Marshall, we can make lemonade right from the tree. We have a machine now that squeezes the lemon or orange juice right from the tree. Straight from the tree could become a reality. Is that what I'm hearing?
If the robot exerted more force than necessary.
Well, I got to get going. Beth, Elle, and Kelly, you want to keep it open or you want to close it? Beth, Elle, and Kelly. Anybody? Ladies?
Bye, JB.
Have a great day, Chief. Happy holidays.
I'm sorry, I couldn't unmute. Yeah, I'll be around for a little while.
All right. Happy holidays, everybody. See you later.
Bye, JB.
So I wanted to ask Anthony and Godmother and Beth a question, if that's okay, about real estate and the real estate market nationally, if you think you're up for that.
Sure, what's going on? Yeah.
Chapter 1. What is magic? Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. What is magic? Why should anyone study and practice it? Very natural.
Prefatory note: our beloved Saraviricam, feeling the hoodwink of her inexperience in practical magic, has asked me to take up the work of obtaining this book from the lips of Pratapajurabo. Conscious of my own defects, I yet yielded to her insistence, and most earnestly thank and bless her for the privilege conferred. The bravest as the sweetest of all the women I have known, she has now, at the suggestion of the master, entered the harem of a Turk in order to study Mohammedan methods of mysticism and magic.
Sweet job is the rituals of Aleister Crowley. In part 2 of his book 4 that, quote, Milo began by carrying a newborn calf, and every day by day, as it grew into a bull, his strength was found sufficient. It is not stretching the metaphor.
Okay, this is the writings of Aleister Crowley. I'm just going to do a quick 10-minute reading of the book. Hop in the shower, and then I have to go get my car.
Brother Judge, you think that the Olympic records?
Okay, this is Quran. I'm reading the works of Aleister Crowley. This is book in Magic, Thelema, Sacred Text. We're also live on YouTube, Zax. This is the writings of Aleister Crowley. I'm just going to do a quick 10-minute reading from a book. Hope you enjoy. Okay, this is a reading. This is called Images of Death. This is Gargoyles. This is the collected works of Aleister Crowley. Prologue, Patchouli. Like memories of love they come, my perfumes in the silver vase, the fragrant root, the odorous gum, myrrh, aloes, or olibanum, anon like memories of love they pass. They pass, and all the wonder web of thought and being is unrolled. Like somber tides there flow and ebb, wonderful things not to be told, beautiful things and images of gold. The touch of brown, Habiba's breast, the brimming lip, the cheek of down, the dainty dovelet in its nest, these fade as ever a palimpsest, like autumn vanishes from gold to brown. Zuleika, on whose marble knees my bearded head is lazily lain, shows like some stirring of the breeze, fluctuant in the poppied grain. No more at all, the vulgar sense is slain. Awaken, O dream, the distant bells in vague muezzins haunt the ear. Gaunt camels kneel by dusky wells, imagination greyly hear, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Khabar. Over inhospitable sands, let the Samum its columns spin. Snowy vales and trodden lands, let there be storm and bearded bands of robbers pace around the bubbling skin. Let there be caves of treasure rare, deep hidden in sepulchral seas, and birds unheard of darken air with royal wings like argosies, sailing beneath magnific promontories. Let caliphs mete fantastic law, and ebon eunuchs swing the sword so swift, so curved, let voiceless awe sit on the palace dome to draw some god's destruction on its smiling lord. Many a maiden comely clad revolve in convoluted curls, till from each pliant pose a head by virtue of her wondrous whirls. The illusion of 1,000 dancing girls, that harlots robed in gold and green sit slowly waving ivory plumes and wings of pomb, the while their queen lurks in some horror house unseen, damned to be smothered in divine perfumes. Let there be scenes of blood and pain, some Slav beneath the Cossack knout, some mother ripped, some baby slain. Let lust move silently about, soft laughter hidden, all song whispering out. Then let these things of form decay, some subtler dream dissolve their form, as I have seen a cloudlet lay, its forehead on the sea, and pray some idle prayer to sunset all the storm. Yea, as a cloud in worship trance swoons in invisible delight, let slave and king, let death and dance shake off their forms and cloth their light, in shrouds of sepulchre the starless night. Song and cry leave tune and tone, perish uncried and die unsung. Nature, the monotonic moan, roared by the river thunder alone, the hoeing ho, its note, the monstrous kong.